right, welcome back. So today we got a fun project. We're going to be doing some front coil spacers on my dad's 2022 Rubicon. He does have the extreme terrain package. So one thing to note is that, so on his is a 2022. He's got a 3/4 inch drop or rake. So it's 3/4 inches lower in the front than it is the back. On our 2024, that drop is actually only 1/4 of an inch. I think maybe it's because in 2024 they started doing winches from the factory, but it's kind of hard to tell in here, but it's a 3/4 inch drop in the front. So we're gonna actually take that out today and do 3/4 inch front coil spacers. So I'll be taking you through a video on that. Here we go. Got our jack stand positioned under the frame. So now we're going to get the tire pulled off and then start disconnecting some stuff, and then we'll droop the axle down and pull the spring out. So I'm just going to let this record. Okay, so now we're going to disconnect the lower shock mount as well as the sway bar. And then we'll be able to drop the axle down enough to pop the spring out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and droop the axle. He's going to slowly let out on the jack stand. Just keep an eye on your electrical wiring and your vent hoses on the top of your differential. Should be fine, but just you don't want anything getting too tight. All right, hold up. Okay, let me show you this. All right, so here, this is the lines I'm talking about. So you got your brake line, your wheel. Oh, there you go, now you can see. So you got your brake line, your wheel speed sensor. So as he's going down, this is getting tight. So all we're gonna do is just go ahead and disconnect this bracket right here so that we can get more play out of it, because we still got a long ways to go to get the shock out. Or excuse me, the spring. All right, so then you just slide your spring off, and there you have it. Okay, so once you drop it down, this is your factory spring isolator, I believe it's called. This is the Daystar 3¼ inch coil spacer. So it just slides on there like that, and then you just slide the whole assembly back up and on. One at a time's easier. So on your factory spring isolator, it's got these two little knobs. They go towards the back and up into these holes on your spring mount. There you go. Then we'll reinstall our spring. Now you want to note on your bottom here, on your bottom spring perch, it's designed so that your shock sets on there a certain way. So we'll slide the shock or the spring up on, and then we're gonna rotate that back to where it needs to be. Right there. All right, now we're good to start jacking the axle back up and get everything reinstalled. Yes. Go slow, hold on a second. Okay, those are still lined up. Keep going. And the spring is seated where it needs to be. And that jack is centered on that pumpkin, right? It's not gonna slip off.
Looks like it's still centered.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. Everything's clear. So, hold up just real fast. As he's coming up, I'm just making sure that everything is staying lined up the way we want it to stay lined up. So the spring itself is setting. Let me just get a little bit better picture of this for you. Okay, whenever I'm talking about that lower spring isolator, as you can see, so this right here. Okay, so this right here is actually your spring. So that's the very bottom of the spring as it's coming around the coil. So this is your spring isolator right here. I'm just making sure that the end of the spring is butted up against that, and then that way your spring itself will sit flat on your spring isolator at the bottom, on your spring perch. And then you can see up at the top, not very well, but that's the, this right here is the Daystar 3/4 inch coil spacer lift that we put on the front. So yeah, everything's looking good. And then this is the bracket that we loosened off the lower control arm. So we'll go ahead and jack it back up until I can get the shock lined up. We'll throw the bolt in that one first, and then I'll remount this. And then we're gonna wait until we get it flat, and then we'll reinstall our sway bar mounts. Okay, so got the shock bolt, lower shock bolt put in, got that bracket reattached. Our sway bar disconnect is still disconnected. We'll get that here in a minute. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw the tire back on. We're pretty much done with this side. Okay, so you can kind of see already, so we got one side done, he's setting up for the other side. Definitely got a lot more lift out of this side. You can see, if I get you sitting here in the front, you can see how that right side is definitely setting up higher. It looks good. It might be hard to tell on the camera, but you can definitely tell the front's up a little bit higher and setting level now, so it looks a lot better. All right, let's get this other side done. All right, so we moved around to this other side. While he's jacking it up, I'm gonna go ahead and get the tire off, and then we'll throw our jack stands under the frame. Okay, just so you know, so since we're doing one side at a time, whenever we lower the jack down, it makes our jack stand want to lean towards us. So all we're doing, we're just keeping an eye on it. We got a backup jack behind it that doesn't have any weight on it yet, but just in case something happens. And then as we're going, I'll just take a rubber mallet, just kind of tap the back side of that jack stand, and kind of keep that jack stand level. That's all we're doing. I mean, the axle itself is supported by the jack and the jack stand. The vehicle's not going to go anywhere. It's just for safety. All right, go slow. We'll see what we got. Nope, already did. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we got the spring out. The only thing is, we kind of already knew this was going to happen. We didn't quite have enough travel. We need to get our jack stands up a little bit higher to hold the frame up higher so we can droop the axle lower. We're just going to cheat. We have spring compressors, so we're just going to use the spring compressors to put it back in. Obviously I got it out, but whenever I go to put it back in, I'm gonna have 3/4 less of space. So we'll go ahead and just compress this spring just enough to get it in. And I don't think this is gonna stay where I want it. It might. Yeah, it might stay. I mean, I can try to wrestle it in there. I just don't think it's gonna go. No, just kidding.
What?
Just kidding. Okay, so we thought we were gonna have to compress it. Man, we didn't. It went in just fine. It's harder to get out than it was to get in. So we're good. I got my spring lined up with my lower spring perch there where it needs to be. The top's in. Everything's sitting level, pretty. Yep, so we're good to go ahead and jack it back up. Oh. Okay, we got the front sway bar disconnect reconnected, the bottom of the shock reconnected, and then the bracket for the brake line reconnected. Everything is snugged down. The spring's sitting pretty, right where it should be. Both the isolators are where they should be. Lower spring perch, the spring's where it should be. So this side is completely done once we throw this tire on. So all I'm doing now is, we still got to do this sway bar link on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that on, then we'll torque all our lug nuts, and that's that for that install. All right guys, so that was a super easy install. Let me show you what we got. Now, we've already measured. He is setting perfectly level from the front and the back. Same difference from fender line to the ground, going through the center of the wheel. So perfect. Made a huge difference on the front. A mod like this is especially good too if maybe you have a winch on the front, your front end's sagging any, or if it's the other way around, maybe you got an overlanding setup and the back end is squatting a lot. You can do the same thing. They make front and rear. On our 2024, after I get the 37s on, we're doing 3/4 in the front and in the rear. So we're actually gonna just do a whole 3/4 inch lift with coil spacers. They're cheap, easy. I think there is a recommended, they recommend that you get an alignment, but I don't necessarily know if you need one, but it doesn't ever hurt just to keep your vehicle aligned so you don't chew up your tires. But you know, there you have it, done for the day.